Hi, my name is Sotce, and today I'm with It Girl to answer the most searched questions about me. This is Search Bar.
Yeah, there's cute.
That works. Yeah.
What is Sotce's real name? My mother named me Amelia. My mother and my father. How did you come up with Sotce? Sotce is an anagram for so cute. How old is Sotce? Not old enough. It's refreshing. How did Sotce end up in a monastery? I was in a legal situation which required me to study off campus, and everything was signed and ready to go. And the program that I was enrolled in, or like the school I was enrolled in, suddenly couldn't take me anymore. And it was a bit of an emergency situation. And then on my end, they were like, where are we gonna put her? Like, what are we gonna do with her? And the only thing that they could find that was accepting like random American students was this monastery in India. So I went there, and I wasn't like really familiar with the practices, but you know, they made us, not made us, but like, I mean, it kind of made us. It was like the point was to meditate. And so I was doing that a lot. And at first I really didn't get it. Like I was just sitting there, but then eventually it just started working like very organically. And then I met a teacher I really resonated with and traveled to learn from him. And then from there, it just was like following cues and interests. There's all sorts of like people out here to guide us and for us to learn from, and like, you know, we learn different things from everyone, but I was on that journey, and that was like the focus of my life. Yeah, it was the best time of my life. What did you learn in the monastery? I learned how to be a good friend and a good daughter, a good partner, a good coworker, a good grocery shopper, good pedestrian. I think the foundational experience, what was really like life-changing for me, was being able to connect with my inner nature, which was not something I had like connected with deeply before. I didn't know how wonderful it was to be human. I didn't know what like a precious and profound experience it is to have a soul and to be in a body. Just to put it very simply, to connect with that and embody that, and realize without a doubt, you know, that I was good, that I had this pure innate nature and awareness that I could always trust and come back to and rely upon, was life-changing, was profoundly life-changing. What was the biggest challenge you experienced while at the monastery? I would just say interpersonal dynamics, and also it would be really hot sometimes. How do you come up with your drawings? I think I'm a good listener and like a good observer, and when I'm in tune, like I'm listening and observing the world, it's very clear to me like what my job is, like what I need to make and do and say even. Are you related to Levi? Yeah, that's my cousin. What is Sotce's main source of income? I have paywalled content that is mostly like spiritual guidance and like wellness, and just like reflecting and working through things that feel like relevant and true for me in my daily life, and then also then reflect like people who resonate with me. I also have a diary that I write in every day that you can read for $5. I do brand deals. I sell merchandise. I was gonna wear it, but then I was like, no, be cool, you know? Would you consider yourself an influencer? Mm-hmm. Is Sotce vegan? No.
Do you think there's this idea that you have to be vegan or vegetarian to be this spiritual person?
Yeah, but like, no one can decide who you are. That's, you know, that's ridiculous. I think it's a good idea if it's like what you want to do. And if it's not what you want to do, then it's not a good idea. You can just follow your natural process, and that's like true, you know? Would you rather be on acid at your wedding or bloated? Definitely bloated. Did an ex really used to lick tears off your face? Yeah. That's happened before. What's your go-to meal to make? I really like tomato sandwiches, toasted bread, and then I hate admitting that I eat mayo, but like a little mayo. And then tomatoes, like ideally you get one that's like this big and you do 3 slices and maybe even one in the middle, like on top of the other 3, and then pepper and salt. Oh my God, you haven't lived if you haven't had a tomato sandwich. I think I have weird food habits. I have oatmeal in the morning. I used to have boiled eggs in the morning, but I kind of got like freaked out about them, like it's just like, it's like intense. I love a rotisserie chicken. It's like how like in ancient times people used like every part of the animal. Like that's me with the rotisserie chicken. I like Jello. What is Sotce? Sotce is a meme format that I became obsessed with expressing myself through. I think in like 2022 was when I started. The basic format of it is like a soft image or like a clean like PNG image and a phrase in Helvetica font, usually like introspective, yearning, tender, very feminine meme format. I became obsessed with expressing myself this way, and I was navigating such like big waves of emotion and feeling at that time in my life, and like posting saved me. Like I was living for it. I was doing it like 20 times a day. And when I was a child, when I was in 1st grade, we had these like stations that we would do different activities at. I don't really remember what they were. There was like a fake kitchen, and there was like, just some things for kids to do. And there was one station that had like these stamps, if you remember, like you stamp and you ink the paper. And I would sit there all day. I would never leave that station. I wouldn't even go outside for recess, using the dog stamps and the bunny stamps, and then writing little like messages under them and hanging them on the walls. And I made like hundreds of them. The teacher literally called my mom, and she was like, I'm worried about this child. Like she's like obsessed with making these like posts, Isn't that cool? It's been amazing to see what it's become. Like, I think it gets a bad rep. Like I think people, I think people don't like teenage girls, honestly. Like that's what it comes down to, is people don't like respect those feelings. And it's like, yes, a lot of the content created in my likeness and format is like, it's maybe self-involved, it's maybe like fake deep or something, but like literally who cares? Like I'm so glad that people are expressing themselves, and it's like such an honor, to like have like someone's like valuable feelings like connected to this like drop in a bucket. I mean, the response has been huge. Like I never saw that coming. And it's really cool. Like it feels good, like I think about it when like a plane is taking off. I'm like, yeah. What was your dream job as a child? I mean, I feel like I just told this story kind of. I wanted to be a poster. Like before that was even like a concept, I remember saying to my mom, like, I want to be an artist, but like I want everyone to see my art. Like I just want to like hang it on the wall. Like, I want to like make a bunch of them and like put them on the walls. And like I even remember like in Valentine's Day at school, I would make everyone in my class their own original card with like what I thought about them in it, and like illustrations to match, like I don't know, just this, I've always had this very like obsessive tendency for like production, like very like industrial like art making. Yeah, I think I always wanted to be an artist and a mom and an influencer. Why did Van Gogh cut his ear off? So we can never really know, right? Like we can never really know why. But Gogh, his artist friend, was a seductor of all people. Like that is known about him. And he came to stay with him. And I think that there was some, some like involved. And he was, Van Gogh was a sensitive man, like there's no denying it. And then he gave his ear to the prostitute and shot himself in the field. It's a widely accepted perspective that Gauguin triggered him, and then he responded with this intense reaction. But again, who knows? I don't. How do you get through heartbreak? You just do, Do you fear New York is crushing your spirit? I think I was living as a forever child, and I have kind of had to grow up here. I kind of had to zip it up, if that makes sense. That's the sacrifice, I think, to live among others. I don't want to say it's crushing my spirit. The spirit is indomitable. It's just can be tricky.
I think it's hard to stay spiritual in a busy city like New York.
No, not necessarily. I mean, New York is a place for you if you love people, just witnessing the human condition in all of its forms, You see a lot of things here that are difficult to see, but at the same time, that's what's happening, And it would be happening whether you saw it or didn't. Did you really live in an abandoned trap house? Okay, so yes, it was abandoned. And yes, the person who abandoned it trapped out of it. So yes, it was an abandoned trap house. Oh my God, that was crazy. That's why I started being an influencer. I was we need to get out of here, The ceiling had caved in from water damage in the kitchen. There was so many problems with it, and all my friends came over and we scrubbed it clean, but it was always have you ever been somewhere where it's just always dirty no matter how much you try to erase that? And there was this smell that it had, and we really cleaned it, and it just was never clean, it felt. But it was a very special time in my life. I had never felt that free before. Yeah, I don't think it could have been any other way, it just had to happen that way. I loved living there. We made it a home, and I kind of feel I'm gonna die in that house. How do you define a healthy versus unhealthy relationship? I mean, it's gonna be different for everyone. And I also think, sometimes two people, when the ingredients mix, there's just a bad reaction that maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise. And it doesn't mean that someone is inherently wrong, but it just you just bring out shadows in each other, which is also a helpful experience. And to go through that with someone, it's two mirrors, and the mirrors are of our family trees. I guess just if you are learning and growing or not, and it can be very hard to know. It can be very difficult to know. It feels like a cloud of perfume, and you're in this orb, and it's it belongs just to the two of you. There's that sanctity in a relationship. It's no matter what you tell your friends or your family, it's just between the two of you. No one else is there. And yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me about love. Can you teach us 3 of your favorite mudras? So prayer hands is Anjali mudra, and I think what's interesting about praying, right, is all your fingers, all your channels are pointing up at the heavens, and then you're bringing the left and right together. It's aligning the right brain and the left brain physically. And I think if you ever just need a moment to feel centered or something, just putting your hands together, the contact, is so safe and meeting, and then you're sending that energy up. And it's also, it's a gesture to share with someone, lotus mudra or Padma mudra. It's kind of a development of the prayer hands, because then you open into a flower shape. And to me, I associate this with a feeling of peace, serenity. It's a gentle what it is you get what you get. Danya mudra is the classic meditation mudra. It's I can't really do it because of my nails, but you touch your thumbs together and then right hand over left, and you hold it like about at your navel. And I think a lot of people believe that the Buddha was meditating like this when he reached enlightenment. Like there's a lot of energy channels in the body. There's a lot of like ways that like feelings and sensations come in, and when you draw the energy channel down to the navel, down to like the core, which you are like impacting the flow of energy by like holding your hands in like a portal, like in this place. It's like grounding and centering and allows like all of the different like emotions and sensations to kind of marinate into intuition, I would say. I connected with mudras pretty early on in my education because it felt like such a natural like thing to do, you know? Like think about how we hold our hands all day. And like also if you look at videos, like a lot of politicians just like stand like this, which is a mudra as well. Like it's very intuitive and sort of like a universal experience, I think, to like express yourself with your hands and to like be in different like embodied states. Yeah, I was really excited about that, and still am. What do you do when you're feeling unmotivated? I mean, you don't have to feel motivated is the thing. Like, do you do when you're feeling like you want to be motivated? I would say like build up some energy in your body, like get some momentum going, you know, like make sure you're fueled and energized, and like take a walk, you know, maybe like listen to something that stimulates you, or like talk to someone that inspires you. Go to the library and look at art books. Yeah, I guess just get to a place where, you know, naturally like you feel like you want to overflow, sort of. What is the key to happiness? Accepting yourself for who you are. You don't need to be different. You don't need to be like anyone else. Like the way you are is perfect, and that's exactly what you need to be, and you shouldn't question it. You know, you can just like build the kind of life that's right for you, and you don't have to do anything except for being yourself. Yeah. What's next for Sotce? I have a lot of exciting things coming up that I can't really talk about. I'm finishing a book. My name is Sotce. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.
I think that's the last question.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sad. Am I doing a bad job? Why can't I answer this?